We're going to go ahead and listen to the band called Playing with Fire and their song For the Best.
Couldn't comprehend, just like the rest. If you wouldn't pretend, I feel like it'd be for the best. One of the marks that you made up for my skin.
Live, episode 54. You can catch up their brand new review. I believe Mr. Ninth Floor Mannequin, Jared Padone, took care of that review for us. This band is so young, has so much potential, and so far to go all at the same time. Good stuff. I wish that they'd bring down, I know you're going to say this probably, some of the songs I was hearing, the guitars are just like way too loud. It's the typical thing, you know. It's almost like the guitar players were in the mixing room saying, turn me up, or they were the ones that mixed it. Good sound, good band, good singer. They have a lot of growing to do, though. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of the same thoughts as Moment of Clarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of uncanny almost, but in terms of the guitars, big sound. So, like, in that sense, it was cool. I love just hearing this huge, wide soundscape. So, like, they're on the cusp of just, you know, really kind of taking over in that sense. But, yeah, there's just like 4 separate points here. So the guitars, when they're going into that percussive, like, that has to be perfect if you're going to do that. I mean, you hear bands like Perfect Circle and, like, you know, Soundgarden and all that stuff. When they're doing that stuff, it's so perfectly tight. So if you're going to do it, you got to nail it or don't do it. That's
or do it until you nail it.
Yeah, record. Just it's not like they don't have the talent. That's the point. They have the skill. So it's like if the final result it's still not perfect, then just do like 10 more takes.
And that's where the growth comes in, I think, too.
Exactly, and that's just a decision. It's not even like taste. It's just a decision. It's a production and a band decision. So the other thing with the vocals, in terms of like Moment of Clarity, it had that same as like, it had these like long blends into the note, and it would hit the note and then it would kind of like waver again, and it would never just like hit that note. And as I'm listening, I'm like, yeah, there's so much cool stuff going on. I was just longing for her to just hit the note and hold it, and it never happened.
Yeah.
And that is a taste thing. That's just like me personally. It's like, just hit the note and hold it. Like, go and just like nail the note. I mean,
I just love all of your musician, words that you're using. Junga, 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 and ran.
It's like Martin Short trying to give like a vocalist.
That's the cool thing about talking to musicians, though, is the peekaboo, that part. They're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, exactly. So, what else? Yeah, so this is the second time now that like the blending of the vocals, these long blends. Moment of Clarity, these guys, and I'm like, I don't know where that comes from. I was trying to I'm like, what's the core? What's the roots of that style? Is it Janis Joplin, like me and Bobby McGee? Like, I don't know where that comes from. Like, I don't know why singers sometimes do that.
Part of it is not necessarily any formal training, because that's one thing they'll teach you in vocal class, is to not ride up to the note, but just hit it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a stylistic thing, of course, if you want to like bend the note or ride up on it or ride down on it or whatever, but you have to be able to just go, like you said, just hit the note, you know.
At least be able to do it a few times in the song and not only blend. So it was like, if you want to go back and forth with it, that's cool, but that's what I was looking for in this, is just at least a few times, just get right to the note and hold it vocally. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it on my side. Cool. Like, overall, great though. And yeah, they do look very young. I'm looking at the pictures. It's bringing me back to college. I'm like, I want to jam with these guys and start over.
Well, and that's the other thing I wanted to say too before we head out tonight, is just one last note about this band, is that their age, it's just like Traverstown, it's like Moment of Clarity, it's like all these young bands, really young bands that we've had lately. They're amazing for how young they are and what they're actually doing. Because I remember when I was like 16, 17 in my first band, we weren't even close to being as good as these bands were.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so